They're gonna make this rivalry come back, this manufactured rivalry, which, by the way, you guys, the Indiana Fever beat the Sky by nearly 40 points. They won 93-58.
I thought we were disruptive. I thought we came with a level of physicality. Anytime you can keep a team in this league to under 20 points in quarters, that's important. They didn't get a lot of clean catch and looks. Look, it wasn't perfect, but we played through our deficiencies. We played through our lapses in coverage. We played through mismatches, and we played with multiple levels of effort, and that's what it takes.
Okay, let's talk about the night the Chicago Sky learned a brutal, unforgettable lesson. You do not make Caitlin Clark wait 7 months to play basketball, especially when the entire world has been watching and talking, because after her longest break from the court, Clark didn't just return. She unleashed something historic, leading the Indiana Fever to a victory so dominant it felt less like a game and more like a definitive announcement. A shocking 93-58 blowout that silenced doubters, rewrote expectations, and proved that the rivalry everyone hyped up was, at least on this night, entirely one-sided.
It's one. A lot more to come. Shout out our fans. Absolutely incredible. Thank you guys for showing up, showing love to all my teammates. We appreciate you. More to come.
7 months. That's how long Caitlin Clark had to sit on the sidelines and listen. 7 months since her last competitive game, filled with endless questions about her transition to the pro level, if she could handle the physicality, cut down turnovers, or truly elevate the Fever into contenders. It was a period amplified by constant media scrutiny and, yes, outside noise, comments from rivals, the hype machine churning the Clark versus Reese narrative at every turn.
The regular season is here, and we have no more time for flirting, folks. We have no more time. It's time to get serious about our business. And Caitlin Clark handled her business game 1. 20, 10, and 10. 20, 10, and 10. Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, what do the kids say? Belt to ass. Oh yeah. La cucaracha, la cucaracha. Indiana Fever destroy, obliterate, run out of the gym the Chicago Sky. 93-58.
The offseason felt long for everyone watching, but imagine for someone who's played basketball their entire life, enduring that wait with questions mounting. The preseason offered glimpses, but also added pressure, leaving everyone wondering what the real debut would bring. And the schedule? It set up the ultimate test, a clash with Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky right out of the gate.
Does it feel like it's been an eternity since you played a game that counted, or does it feel now that it's gone by fast?
It feels like it's gone by fast, yeah. Which I didn't know going into the offseason of how exactly it would feel. I feel like just yesterday it was January and I was itching for like this first game. I was like thinking about this moment, and you think it will take a long time to get there, but it doesn't. If you just, stay consistent in what you do and follow your routines and, you stay busy, it comes pretty fast. But yeah, it didn't feel slow. I feel like this moment has raced up on us.
But from the moment the ball went up, you could see a shift. This wasn't the hesitant player sometimes seen navigating her rookie adjustments. This was Clark playing with pure freedom, confidence flowing like it hadn't since her dominant college run. Her first three-pointer was clean, pure, and set the tone. Then came the dazzling no-look passes that left defenders frozen, the surprising rebounds snatched from taller opponents, and defensive plays nobody expected. By halftime, the Fever led by 19, and Clark was flirting with history. And in the fourth quarter, she clinched it, securing her 10th rebound to complete a triple-double with 20 points and 10 assists already in hand. Forget the hype, this was performance.
I'm excited to play, excited to get out there and play. I think it's different when it's the first one of the season. Like, you just are really amped up to get out there. A little anxiousness, but nothing I haven't experienced before. I think more than anything, just excited. I think once you eventually get in the building and you get here and you get in your routine of preparing for the game, you're pretty locked in. And honestly, I'm ready to go play right now. Forget warm-ups.
No player in WNBA history had ever recorded a triple-double in a season opener. Not Diana Taurasi, not Candace Parker. Caitlin Clark did what none of them could in her first game back. The 7-month wait hadn't slowed her down. It had ignited something new.
Rivalry is great for sport. I understand that. I grew up loving rivalries. I grew up in Iowa State. That's like a pro matchup in the state of Iowa. I understand that. Or whether it was my high school team, I still hate our rival high school, Valley High School. Sorry, I'm sure there's a lot of people from Valley High School that love me and support me now. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you guys, but I wasn't your biggest fan. I didn't like the Tigers growing up, so my parents, my grandfather was the football coach growing up, and Valley was our biggest rival. It was the biggest class in Iowa. And I was taught to, growing up, if we were driving by the high school, to hold my breath because I couldn't breathe that air.
Here's where everyone got it wrong. While the world focused on Clark's offense, the real shockwave of the night was the Indiana Fever's defense. Chicago stepped in expecting a high-scoring contest, but instead, they ran straight into a brick wall. The Fever swarmed from the opening tip, playing with a relentless intensity that felt like they had extra players on the court. Every shot was contested, every passing lane clogged, every drive met with multiple defenders. The Sky simply could not find any rhythm, any space. They looked utterly lost, held to an abysmal 29% shooting from the field and just 22% from three. They couldn't buy a basket. At the heart of this defensive masterpiece stood Aaliyah Boston. She dominated the paint with 5 blocks, absolutely overwhelming her former South Carolina teammate, Camila Cardoso. Boston didn't just defend, she intimidated, anchoring a defense that communicated, rotated, and suffocated the Sky into turning the ball over 17 times under immense pressure. This wasn't just about individual players, it was about a team transformed on the defensive end.
More than anything, like as a player, you approach the game the same every single time, or you should. That's how you should approach every single game. You prepare the same way, you come ready to play, whether it's the team that's last in the league or the team that's first in the league, it doesn't matter. I think for the fans, it's great, they love it, and I mean, Chicago is the closest team to us. You know, we bus there usually, so I get it geographically, but I think for our team and our group, it's, you know, we prepare the same way every single game, but I expect today to be an awesome game.
And then the moment many anticipated finally boiled over. With under 2 minutes left in the third quarter, the tension between Clark and Reese reached its peak. Clark committed what she called a simple take foul to stop an easy layup, but the officials saw it differently, upgrading it to a flagrant foul after review. The call itself sparked controversy, but it was the reaction that grabbed headlines.
All right, y'all. Hey, good stuff. Okay, we did a lot of really good things. I thought our defense was really good, and when we had lapses, we played through possessions. All right, so we made things happen. Y'all, overall, just hell of an effort.
Angel Reese immediately turned towards Clark with apparent intensity. Yet, as teammates and Aaliyah Boston stepped in, rushing to Clark's defense, Clark herself simply walked away. While Reese remained engaged, Clark de-escalated, composed amidst the fire. Watching the replay, Reese's reaction felt less authentic intensity and more like a performance for the cameras, perhaps projecting a toughness that didn't match the composure displayed by her opponent.
4 quarters under 20, holding the team under 20. Steph said it, we were relentless, we played through possessions, but that physicality and that relentlessness, possession after possession, wears on a team. And then that was the entire game. They were feeling us every cut. We were talking, we were communicating, we were flying around, deflection.
The Indiana Fever didn't just handle the dramatic moment with composure, they used it as fuel. Immediately after that flagrant foul and the resulting technicals, Indiana unleashed a devastating 12-2 scoring run. It was like the confrontation flipped a switch, channeling the energy of the moment directly onto the scoreboard. That single sequence broke the game wide open, turning a large lead into an insurmountable gap. It was a brutal display of focus and execution, responding to the physical and emotional challenge not with histrionics, but with game-defining basketball. The Sky were left reeling, unable to stop the bleeding as the Fever put the final nail in the coffin.
Clark in transition. Clark, oh, what a look. And Hole lays it in.
lost amidst the Clark-Reese drama, and the blowout score was a truly significant moment. While social media exploded with clips of the flagrant foul, Dana Bonner, a quiet veteran legend for the Fever, hit 2 free throws. Those 2 free throws weren't just points. They moved her into sole possession of 3rd place on the WNBA's all-time scoring list. Think about that. Amidst the manufactured rivalry narrative and the personal confrontation, a true legend was quietly making history right in front of everyone, a testament to dedication and longevity.
Essentially, Angel Reese gets the ball, Caitlin Clark goes over, does a hard foul, commits a hard foul on Angel Reese. She falls to the ground. After that, Angel Reese gets up. She's feeling super spicy. She's charging at Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is walking away. Aaliyah Boston steps in and kind of stops Angel Reese. Courtney Vandersloot also steps in.
While others focused on the spectacle, the Fever team rallied around Bonner, celebrating a momentous achievement that highlighted their focus on team goals and respect for the game's history, a stark contrast to the personal drama that preceded it.
Going to be the biggest news for the next 3 months. So let's talk about Caitlin Clark's hard foul on Angel Reese.
The final buzzer sounded, revealing the shocking 35-point differential. The post-game scenes painted a clear picture. Inside the Fever locker room, it was pure, unfiltered joy and a sense of accomplishment. Veterans like Bonner were celebrated, rookies like Clark shared in the excitement, and Coach White spoke of setting a new standard. It was a team realizing they weren't just hoping to improve, they had arrived.
But when you really watch the replay, something feels off. Angel came charging in like she wanted smoke, like she was ready to throw down. But here's the thing. If she really wanted to confront Caitlin, what was stopping her? Nothing. That reaction, the body language, it felt forced. Like she was putting on a performance. Fake tough, fake angry.
Meanwhile, the Chicago Sky were shell-shocked. Angel Reese offered brief, dismissive comments about the flagrant foul, while her teammates struggled to explain how a game they supposedly circled on the calendar turned into such a brutal, one-sided defeat. Clark, grounded as ever, focused on the team's defense and Bonner's milestone, acknowledging they still have chemistry to build, a thought that should send a chill down the spine of the rest of the league.
Let's look at these box scores really quick. So Aaliyah Boston, 19 points, 13 rebounds. DB, 7 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. So DeWanna Bonner also just moved up to number 3 on the WNBA's all-time leading scorers list. And that was actually probably my favorite part of the entire game. Like, that was such a cool moment. She stayed in a little bit later in the 4th quarter when they didn't need her anymore. They were up 30 points, but I was so happy that she got that moment. She hit 2 clutch free throws. Now she is number 3. That's such a huge accomplishment, and I'm glad that DB is getting her flowers. Natasha Howard, 15 points, 5 rebounds. Kelsey Mitchell, 15 points. Caitlin Clark recorded a triple-double, 20 points, 10 assists, and 10 rebounds.
But this wasn't just about Clark and Boston. This dominant performance exposed the Fever's true hidden strength, their depth and team chemistry, even while admitting they're still building it. Players like Kelsey Mitchell and Natasha Howard provided crucial scoring punch. Lexi Hull, known for her grit, became a defensive dynamo off the bench, grabbing 9 rebounds and fighting for every loose ball, getting the crowd chanting her name.
And let's be honest, from that moment on, Angel Reese disappeared. Her impact on the game, gone. Caitlin, she was in her zone. It's like Clark didn't just eat the foul. She took over the moment, mentally and physically. So now the big question is, was that fire from Reese real? Or just for show?
This wasn't a one-woman show or even a two-woman show. It was a complete team effort with players embracing their roles, communicating on defense, and picking each other up. Holding a team under 20 points in multiple quarters, that's not individual brilliance. That's a unit working together, proving they are far more than just their most famous players.
We wanted to open out the season, start off the season, letting everybody know this is a new team, and we have one goal. Did we play our best game today? I would say we didn't. The fact that we didn't play our best game and we still destroyed the Chicago Sky, gotta feel good about that. No Sophie Cunningham in the lineup. Arguably the first person coming off the bench for us, not arguably, most likely the first person coming off the bench for us. No Sophie Cunningham, and we destroyed the Chicago Sky.
This wasn't just a victory, it was a statement win of historic proportions. A 35-point margin against a hyped opponent on opening night sends a clear message across the league. It immediately shifts the narrative around the Indiana Fever from a promising team to a legitimate contender, capable of suffocating opponents and executing at a high level. For the Chicago Sky and Angel Reese, it leaves them with serious questions.
Passer. And Joanna Bonner sits alone in third place.
The supposed rivalry felt manufactured because on the court, it wasn't close. Their inability to generate offense, even basic sets against pressure, suggests fundamental issues need addressing. This game didn't just start the season, it immediately reshaped expectations for both teams and the entire league, setting the stage for a fascinating year ahead.
But what does a game like this say to the rest of the league? How does it set up for the season?
Yeah, I think we're just focused on ourselves. You know, you prepare every single night. I think that's the great thing about this league. And also, you know, you play and then you have a day and then you play again, and then you have a day and you play again. You have to be able to flush things really fast. You can't get too high, you can't get too low. You just got to stay right in the middle. So that's going to be the challenge for our group. You know, build from it, appreciate how we came out here and really played and competed tonight. But also, like, I felt like, you know, I know we put up 93 points and still won by 30, but I felt like there was a lot of ways for us to still improve. And that's what's exciting, too. Like, you know, and I think everybody's still hungry to go back to work and get better.
The Indiana Fever didn't just win a game. They announced their arrival as a force in the WNBA with a historic 35-point demolition of the Chicago Sky. Caitlin Clark delivered a record-breaking triple-double. Aaliyah Boston anchored a suffocating defense, and the entire team proved they are deep, disciplined, and ready to compete at the highest level.
DB, congratulations. CC triple double. AB double double. Let's see Premier double double now.
Angel Reese and the Sky were thoroughly outplayed, unable to back up the offseason hype, left searching for answers after a brutal opening night. The 7-month wait is officially over. The Fever are not only back, but they've dramatically raised the bar, and this explosive start is just the beginning of what could be a truly special season.